As I've mentioned, Gradle is based on a convention. That is why there is also a naming convention which applies to files and directories. All files present in the app module which we want to modify and which will influence the application can be found in the SRC folder. As the name suggests, the SRC directory includes the sources of our project. Here we have, for instance, the main directory, which is generated by default, as well as the Android test directory. The main directory includes the main files used to build a package. The Android test directory is also generated automatically and is used to perform tests run on an emulator. If you want to carry out test-driven development or run instrumentation tests, this is the right place to put the relevant files. For the moment, we won't be dealing with the testing mechanism itself. We'll be dealing mainly with the main directory. The main directory includes two main directories, Java and Res, as well as the Android manifest XML file. This file is extremely important, which is why we'll talk more about it in a moment. In the Java directory, we usually have all the source files as Java files. In our case, it's a single file which describes our activity, which we generated by providing its name in the creator. Apart from the Java code, we also have resources. They include all the files present in the Res directory. We have a couple of directories available, which include various types of resources. These are, for instance, drawable directories, which include everything that can be drawn. Moreover, we have the layout directory, which includes the XML files which describe our view layout. Here we can find the activity_hello.xml file generated based on the class name. It's responsible for the displayed view. When placed in the text view file, it's responsible for the Hello World text appearing on the device. In a while, I'll tell you exactly how it works. In the resources, we also have the menu directory, which is responsible for the appearance of the menu. It's the description of a specific menu for the activity we're currently in. For our hello_activity, we get the file hello.xml generated. It's a file which includes the elements available inside the menu. The last important directory, which is automatically generated, is the values directory. It includes everything that didn't fit in the previous categories, but we wanted to be separated as constants, which, depending on the device, may assume other values. In our case, we have diamonds, that is, dimensions, strings, meaning various strings of text, which are to be translated or changed, and styles, meaning the file which stores graphic styles, something like CSS files in HTML. Additionally, it should be noted that the directory's drawables and values are present in a number of varieties. The directory name is composed from the main part and the selector after the dash mark, which denotes a category. In case of drawable, these are densities. In our case, particular directories include only the icon of our project, which is scaled to the right densities. In case of values, the division is not with respect to the density, but in terms of the size of the entire display. W820dp means that it has to load only the moment the width of our device is at least 800 dp. So, we have the res directory, which includes all of our resources, and the manifest file. In our case, this file is very simple. It has been generated only for a single activity. The manifest file defines, among other things, the package and the application section. It's the main tag in the manifest file, which defines what our activity will be made of. We define certain activity properties. For instance, the icon, which will describe the activity, its title, its default graphic theme, meaning the style of the whole application. Allow backup is another interesting feature. It's a special property which informs us whether the data of our application can be stored in a cloud. Google is able to automatically save data from our phone to a cloud and download it back again once the device is reinstalled. For this purpose, the application must support Allow Backup. Inside the application tag, we define all the components the application will be made of. In our case, it's a single activity tag, which defines our activity. Each activity which we want to use within the application must be present in the manifest. Otherwise, it'll be an ordinary class, and Android will not be able to start it. The most important thing is the name property, which specifies the class name for the activity. Moreover, we can define our name for a particular activity. This is pretty important because a label will be used to sign an activity in the launcher. An application may include many activities which can be visible in the launcher. Each one should have a different label. That is why an activity must not have the same name as the entire application. However, it is the case here, because it's only a trivial example. Actually, it may turn out that we have two activities visible in the launcher, and one of them is called Login, and the other is called Administrator Login. They may include two access points for our application, depending on our permissions. That is why our application will have two icons, and depending on which one we start, we'll get redirected to the relevant application part. The activity, which is displayed in the launcher, defines the intent filter placed inside the activity tag. Intent filter is a special construction which informs us which intents, that is, special messages sent between the components, our activity should react to. In our case, we decide that it should react to a special intent of action main and category launcher. The launcher category defines that our application will be displayed in the launcher. The system automatically scans all the applications and checks which ones have at least one activity with the launcher category set.